Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once more. So, we are back here, and we need to try and make the situation survivable, really. Now, I have been mistreating the Romanians in this sector quite badly. Frankly, we need to evacuate these Romanian divisions and have them probably sent to Stelino, at least somewhere where there is a possibility of resupply and refitting. That would be superior for us. Well, superior to doing what we're doing now. Okay. So we don't have the rails here yet, which is a shame. I could really do with them being nearby. We will have to pull back these airfields, otherwise we do risk facing their annihilation, at least capture. Right. We need to stabilize the situation around Rostov. So let's take a look here. I would very much like to hold on to this town here. Novorossiysk. Indeed, I would very much like to hold on to that. Reasoning being that it is a superb defensive location. And a good strong point to dig our nails into. Right there and ready. Okay. Right, wow, that is a significant concentration of strength there. Okay, now this will be difficult. Oh dear. Okay, that's a first. Interesting to see that they're using hurricanes. So we can definitely see that lend-lease is in effect for the Soviets. Okay. Right, okay. Now that is in fact rather bad. Righto. This is Romanian. Oh, it's in fact German, okay. Righty. We need to check the shoulders here. Okay, these are Romanian. Move them here. Have them switch commands. Ah, boo. Okay, I kind of buggered myself there. Righto. Let's see. We can't exploit deeper here. Right, now these men are unready. But I could use them to beef up... These men are ready, but it's nowhere near enough. Okay. Right, now we do have further divisions available for use. So that does alleviate some of the issues. Now we do need to launch a local counterattack in this area here. The reasoning for that is we need to put some pressure on their forces here. We can't allow them just to be able to maintain attack. We need to roll the punches and also give the punches just as we take them. Now let's see. Right. I have a new tool here. So, at the moment we do have... That's rather... Let's see. Pen. There we go. Go something a little bit different. So at the moment, we do have this, which is rather difficult. Now it is vulnerable considering that there is a gap between here and here. I don't know what's particularly behind here, but this is a gap that can be exploited. What we need to do really is try to come around, then hit these guys in the rear. If I can separate this pocket out, then that would weaken their front line down here in the south. But ultimately, I'd love to try and pull something off where we sweep like so. These are vulnerable. That's vulnerability there. There is only the rail from here, but if we can break this rail and this rail. So if this rail broken, that rail broken, there's no rail travel. They'd have to move all the way down to this rail. So that's what we need to bear in mind. Right. That's good to know. Let's see. If we were to launch a counter-offensive, it would come from this area here. And now, thankfully, we do have a good number of men in this area to make that happen. Look at these forces here. Their attack is insane. What I'd like to do here is really have the divisions push and then have these Jaegers be the ones to actually pull off the assault, considering that they can actually move in this sort of terrain and this sort of weather fairly well, or fairly effectively to say the least. Right, that's an issue. But it's been dealt with now, so no longer an issue. Okay. So refit off. Refit off. The 1st Panzer Group, or at least the 1st Panzer Army, sorry. What remains of it in this area has enjoyed some relative stability as it's been rebuilt. Their ability is still not exactly fantastic. Their morale is fairly low. I mean, you can see here the exploitation is going to be there. Now, what we need to do then is basically decide who we want to commit. But let's try and sort out a breakthrough first. So we do have this area here. Now this is a perfect location to start. Okay, plenty of air cover. Well, at least some air cover. Yep, they were both routed. Superb. Here we go, the local counteroffensive begins. Right, what do we have here? We have 80 and 80. That should fall easily. Right, we're advancing the town. Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah, there we go, some good support. Okay. Right, we could capture the town here. Which is quite nice, considering that there's supply there. Right, this should increase their morale. Yep, let's get it back up there. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, the weather is not really suited for it. No. What I need really is rails in this location. I do have rails up to here, which would give me that logistical capability. But I think what we need to do now is we need to take a look at this. This is really where we need to cut them off. But if we have the infantry pushing around them, that will threaten them. So I think what I'll do then is send a corps over to this area, have them basically build up, and I'll use my drawing tool. Yeah. So we'll have a corps sent to this sort of area here as a staging point. The infantry will continue to push them and try to open up a larger gap. Then what we'll do is we'll try and come around here. The target is this Lugansko. Lugansko. So a corps there. And then we need a corps over here. We will need a corps here just to block. Like corps, I should say. But the idea here is ultimately this succeeds. And then we move on. Link up or try to link up with this. And envelop them. That's what I want. So we do have the third corps. Yep, third corps around the rails. Third corps. Okay. Now I'd like to be across the actual river here. There we go, so we can build up that fuel. That is a HQ build-up. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll build up the fuel in that core. They're going to need to be able to move. Need to improve their morale too. So we do have the 14th Corps, 14th, and where's the other one? Right, so that's 14th Corps. Okay, yes, of course, the other one is over here. Is there only 3 corps down here? I thought I had a 4th one, to be honest. That's impressive. Now they can't move. But that's fine. Right. Indeed. Okay. What do we have in this town? We have some fuel and supply. Over here we have some supply and resources, of course. Righto. Not much fuel in you. How much fuel do we have in you? That's more fuel, that's fantastic. That should be enough. Okay, we need to stabilize the front here. What we'll do then is we're using motorized infantry. I could do with something down here as well. Okay, I think what we'll do then is have this cavalry move up over here. This cavalry can form something of a backbone there. Right, let's have you assigned to a Romanian army. So we'll have you assigned to the 3rd Romanian army. And there we go. Okay. So we do have the 1st SS motorized. That is a brigade actually, of course it's going to be lower in strength. We'll have 60th Motorized Division sent over to this area though to establish control here. At least we'll be in a position to actually... didn't mean to do that. Have that one as a reserve. Right. So 1st Panzer Army is being deployed here just to stabilize the front. As without it, honestly, we'd have some serious problems. Now then, let's see. We do have you. Tank Brigade, Naval Rifle Brigade, Rifle Division. They wouldn't have the power to push them out of the way by themselves. We do have some Panzers though. We have, what, 2 Panzer Divisions and a Motorized Division to make this happen. Well, not a full Motorized Division, but at least something approximating that. What we'll do then is... I'm just considering, do I break this division up into brigades? And then, yeah, I think we'll break it up into brigades. There we go. I mean, that's a decent defensive position there. This doesn't matter too much. I could have that sent there, potentially. But let's see, what do we have in the actual city? We do have some supply. No fuel, unfortunately. Okay, we'll reinforce this. Right, we can't break that one up. We'll reinforce this area then. The Panzers can be moved over here then. Now then. I'd like to have them assigned directly to the 1st Panzer Army. Okay. So this encirclement won't be achieved in this single action. Okay. Right then. So, at the very least, we have the station. Well, we have the situation stabilized. We do have 2 motorized divisions down here just to plug the gaps. Hopefully this holds. I doubt it will, in all honesty. So it is more than likely going to falter. Right, those men are unready. So let's see. I mean, it's a cheap way, and it's ultimately a damaging way to try and beef them up. But that's fine. Okay, now hopefully this does in fact hold. You know what, I think I might just move there, just in case. I don't want them breaking through, and then that screwing the 1st Panzer Army headquarters. Right then. These rails are unconnected. So what we need to do then is we need to run a 2nd line, which we'll do. Need to make sure that supply reaches this area. Yep, 6 army. Okay. I will, I don't know, actually. I do need to push up on the flank here. So we'll push up on the flank. We'll occupy this area here. These men can go onto reserves. Okay. Now, Belgorod does not, in fact, have to be abandoned. I was considering abandoning the city. I will, unfortunately, have to abandon Curse. There's simply no way. It's a shame, really, considering the city's value. But yeah, it's not worthwhile. Right, just make sure that we can actually make it out with this force. The last thing I want is that division being destroyed or surrounded. Righto. Not much we can do here. Okay, this needs to work out, because otherwise it's going to be a rather dangerous situation. We might have the potential to beat them off. Which frankly I will try. There we go, okay. That gives us a little bit more breathing room. and ultimately a little bit more space to operate. Okay. I do have the Kaluga fortified zone to hold the actual city itself, so that's decent. Right, let's have them assigned. Okay, make ready for combat. What do we actually have assigned here? We do have some 81mm mortars, okay. Nothing really amazing, but something. Right. Connect this rail line. There we go. Have them reassigned. For army headquarters. We'll move a division here just to shore up the flanks. Okay. As we are going about the process of extracting the 2nd Panzer Army. Which is easier said than done. It's much easier said than done. It's one of those things, it's very easy to get the Panzers into combat, but it's very difficult to get them out. It may be another turn before we can really extract the 3rd and 4th Panzer Armies. Hit what? Ah. Okay. Okay. Now we might be able to distract them. There's really not much offensive potential here. So in all honesty, I'm being overcautious here. I believe I can distract the armies. Frankly, it's going to be easier said than done considering getting them out, but we can do it. If we extract a core out at a time, then we'll be golden. Okay, I can pull them back. I'm basically going to abandon this salient here. Because frankly it doesn't do anything for me if I can shorten the front slightly and pull 2 Panzer armies out. That means I can actually get some refitting going. And they're out of combat, and that's the main important thing. They're not suffering attrition, they're not going to be hit hard. They can stay in Moscow and recover some strength, really. Which is very important. Right. I do have another infantry division here. So we can't fully extract. Well, then again. One... Hmm. Hmm. Right, there we go. Turns out I can extract. Indeed. There we go. So we've really decluttered the entire area now. Okay. Now, once we do get these rails working, then we can have interior lines here. But Moscow itself is an absolutely incredibly formidable defensive position. So let's put refit on then, and we'll get the 2nd Panzer Army under refit. Now, it's really good that we were able to get them out, and importantly, onto the lines here. Now, I do need to go about and build the rails in Moscow itself, as it's not connected. But there's a hell of a lot of supply already in the area there, so they should be able to draw upon that quite nicely. But that will be quite nice and handy. This should withstand any really assault, really. Aye. There's some combat power here. Right, we'll go to reserve here. Need to fill that. Okay. Fall back. Reserve. Okay, rail you. Or not. Okay. Let's allow them in. The idea about this is we know the front. Well. Alright, we pull back out that way. Hold something for the moment while these forces are made ready. They should not be able to reach this port or this port. Considering they are held as well, they shouldn't have that ability. Okay. Now with the extraction of the Panzer armies, we do have some mobility. Now let's see. I mean, this is a pain in the ass, don't get me wrong. I do need to get these rails up. Yep. At least those partisans are dealt with. Pull back a little bit more. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to lure them in, really. That's what I want to do. I want to lure them forward. I want them to start pushing here. And if I can do that without being in contact with them, that's fantastic. This definitely does need to be salted, though. I could do with further Finnish forces being sent over here, in all honesty. Those men are withdrawing. Right. Okay, so that's 2 divisions that can be sent over to here. So that's another 6 hexes that we could hold if we break them up into brigades. So frankly, that is a nice amount of extra men that we can have sent to the area. And Leningrad will be starved into submission. In time. In time. Get them into that town. Okay. Now this is the most dangerous part here. I might pull back here. I'll pull here, actually. The reason for that is, ultimately, I can't... Right, okay. That would have been a really bad thing. Yeah, ultimately I can't allow them to be cut off. So if I have some actual strength here, that's fine by me. Shame I can't put them in there. We did beat back some of the forces here. So frankly, it's going to be a case of see how it goes for the moment. Right. These Romanian forces do need to be rested. Okay, never mind then. Nice amount of fuel and supply there. Actually, keep you there. Have you on reserve if I can. I still do have something in the rail pool. I think I do have some extra... Yeah, I do have some Romanian troops. Which is good. There we go. Wow, it's a little bit far away, but oh well. But something extra on the way nonetheless. I mean, it's far, far too small. Do have that division. Okay. Right, we'll have you in Riga for the turn. I love that movement though. I mean, going from like there-ish to here is really nice. I mean, the rails are superb. We really do need to improve them continuously. Just as much as absolutely possible. Ah, here we go. I did know I had another one somewhere. Oh, right. No more movement. But at least that's rails in Moscow itself, and this should be potentially connected. I'm not entirely sure there. Hopefully we'll get it fixed. But if it is, then we'll have connections with the rails there, but that's closer. I mean, that's more supply, and that's actual supply coming into the city. So that is superb. Okay, so now I do believe we've reached the somewhat the limit of the Soviet strength. Now, we're at what, 3.92 million? I believe after turn 25 they stop gaining 100,000 men per turn automatically, and instead they have to use their admin points to actually purchase divisions. And I do believe we've reached that point at which we've surpassed their automatic reinforcements. So the fact is, what we're dealing with now is going to increase still, but not in the same way that it once did before. which is good to know. I mean, this is a real dangerous situation. I'm going to definitely need the Panzers here, ASAP. There's simply no other way about it. And then again, what I need to try to do then is form a counteroffensive here. And ideally one here. I need to try to collapse it and none them. We'll see, we'll see. I'm hoping that we have the mud come soon. Okay, then we'll end the turn. And see how things go on. But ultimately not too bad there. We'll have another 2 divisions from the Finnish army sent to Karelia. Okay. Now they will more than likely fill the town of Tula. Well, take over the city of Tula again, and Irae. At least I'd imagine so. But that's fine. The ultimate issue is really that one. But then again, if he advances too deep without... Oh. Oh, thank God for that. It was only a tank brigade. But that still diminished their level there. Into that... Right, there we go. Nonetheless, we still have our position here, so that's fine. Are they going to take the city or what? Interesting. But you can see this opening here. If I had some mobile forces to exploit that, that would be doable. Okay. Yeah, that's the issue, the fact that these AFVs are being damaged. If I can get out next turn, I'm going to try and get out next turn. I don't know. I don't know, really. It is drawing men away, and they are doing far greater amounts of good in the city than outside the city. Yeah, that is really powerful there. I would say this is a critical threat. Yeah, they didn't know I was here. Yeah, the north is a major threat, really. Okay, we held them. Which is rather impressive, really. Right, now that is a big threat. So they're not very strong, actually. So they can be exhausted. That's good to know. That's very, very good to know. they lost a lot of men from that. Then again, we lost quite a few. Yeah, see, that's really impacted on their ability to function. Yeah, they lost 458 men, but 636 were wounded. And are nonetheless taken out of the order of battle. There we go, that's impacting on the guards' morale. Good. Heavy losses. Heavy, heavy losses. Then again, we did have a lot of planes in reserve there. Yep, lots of air support there. Right, that's really, really not wise. Why would you do something like that? Oh. Right. Okay, that's concerning. We do need to rectify that. I mean, that... I'd have thought that would have been a really good position. Okay. Superb. Yeah, we do have some stuck battalions there. Right, we do need to defeat this push. A lot of men there. We did lose 1,000 men. Well, 1,000 and then 1,485 wounded. But the thing is, they've abandoned this here. They could have pushed on me and tried to really get through me. I mean, that was a very powerful division. Again, let's see. Good. Right, I don't know how we'll hold here. Very poorly, really. Yeah, at least we took out a few of their AFEs. Which, frankly, they don't have many left. Good, we held. As to say, at least we do have air support in the area, whereas the enemy seems to... Well, they have some, but not... we'll see. Right, that's... less than good, right? So they have 18 Yak 19... sorry, Yak 1s. God, that takes me back. Yak 90s, ugh. Okay, how is that ever going to work? Right, again, that's really hurting these guys. It does seem as though we still hold Tula, so that's nice. I mean, the fact is I've still been able to draw supply from there. Okay. So this situation is difficult, but once we do get out of here, then we will be able to rectify the front. That was a large attack. Over this area it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, I have had to give significant ground in the centre here. But the fact is, they only have a few thousand, well, a few 100,000 more men than I do. So the deeper they push, the worse it's going to be for them, to be honest. I mean, that is a fact. They're going to have to repair all these rail lines. And the deeper they push, the further away from supply they move. And the closer I move to my own supply. I mean, we have defensive depth to a certain degree. Not so much depth in a lot of areas due to the fact that I don't have unlimited reserves. But neither do the Soviets. They're attacking everywhere. Mildly. Which is quite accurate, to be honest. That is pretty, like, historically accurate. Stavka did have a habit of attacking earlier in the war. Hastily, really. They wouldn't really have the necessary preparations built up, like supplies or logistics, really, in the area. Namely trucks, I mean, the vast... I mean, there's a huge amount of trucks delivered to the Soviet Union. So much so that the Red Army really did roll in on American-made trucks. Not entirely, but they were majority there. Right, here we go. Now this counteroffensive there has really called them out. I mean, look at that. Why the hell would you attack? That's insanity. Okay, that's fine. We might be able to put it off here, actually, if I can break through at some point. I mean, I might be able to surround these forces quite easily. I mean, this is quite easy. If I get them, and then that's a few forces chipped away already from their order of battle. But again, these counterattacks are rather desperate. I mean, here they have jack shit. I can use the Jaegers here, surround these forces, really push them. Yeah, that hurt them. Okay, they were trying to break through there at the wrong place. Good. Heavy losses there. I mean, that 36 tanks and they lost 16. In ideal, if we do pocket this army here, or at least the majority of this army, we can begin to once again push towards Leningrad. Sorry, Stalingrad, goddammit. Once the muds have cleared and the snow has gone eventually. Okay, that's fine, I can give ground, I just need to hold in this general area. If I can do that, I can make things work. We have Rostov still under our control. I mean, we have been pushed back significantly, but it was always a really confused situation itself. Yeah, they lost 1/7 of their armor there. Further forces being damaged. Yeah, you're not going to do very well attacking the Panzer Corps. They are lavishly supported. Absolutely lavishly supported. Low losses. Okay, that is a shame. I couldn't get that other force out there, but at least they're out now. Heavy numbers there. So we have 4th Shock Army here. Interesting. Now that is rather interesting. I mean, historically they were around... well, I'm not entirely sure about 4th Shock Army. I would have to check, to be honest. But the Shock Armies were historically around Moscow. So it might be that due to the concerns of the war that they've shifted to the south. Which is rather interesting. The situation at Rostov is becoming tenuous. We don't have to hold on that much longer, to be honest. Right, heavy losses there for both sides. But then again, the deeper they move, the harder it is for them. Excuse me. And take a look at the vehicles here. They have, well, they're kind of about just under 50%, somewhere like that. Yeah, that was not going to work. But you move deep now. And all I have to do there is to try and take that crossing. They're cut off and they're fucked. That's surprising, actually, considering that was a 198th Division in there too. But if they move deeper, then that's going to be easily done. Right. This is a heavier counterattack than I originally expected. Right. Uh-huh. Okay, so 54th Army is very dangerous. Extremely dangerous now, okay. And this situation down here in Crimea is developing into a situation that I really don't like. We can contain them. It doesn't look as though Sevastopol is going to fall anytime soon, though. But once we deal with these forces in the open plains of Crimea, then we'll be able to advance. But again, they're moving away from their supply. These forces can't keep it up, though. There's a lot of air power here. Black Sea Fleet Air Command. I dare them to send fuel in the center. Okay, so Rel fell, Kursk fell, I imagine Tula fell. These cities can be retaken. In time, at least. Okay. But 1st Panzer has been committed at the right time, it seems. I mean, the thing is, I could have had them committed beforehand, but I tried to hold my nerve as long as possible with reserves. I tried to hold it as long as possible. I'd rather commit them just as they're needed, rather than before. So I commit them before they're needed, and they're not needed, are they? Only when their need is greatest do they appear. Right, there we go. So that was a quite... Well, it was a very bloody turn. We can see here the logistics is look... Well, I mean, the realities of war is stacking against the Soviets here. I mean, we lost 76 airfields permanently. They've lost 305. That's considerable. Yeah, plenty disabled. I mean, most of our men here were disabled, whereas the vast majority of their losses were killed. So you can see here that losses are skewed to about 50... Well, I mean, there's just like 2/3 of them will die. Well, that's kind of like over 2/3, isn't it? So over 2/3 do die. Well, ours is about almost 1 in 4 will die, while the vast majority will be wounded, which they can return from eventually. We gain back 53,000 here, and the Soviets gain back 74,000. But then they just lost 25,000. So imagine, they're roughly equal numbers as we are. Okay, they lost a lot of planes, so did we apparently. Right, we have some bloody partisans here. Okay, so Tula has fallen. But thankfully we do have these guys available now. They can fall back further. I mean, the thing is, I'm defending less and less land here now, and I do have forces to check their advance. So what do we have here? We have the 19th Army. As it seems like the 19th Army is the one we're really contended with in the area. Okay. Yeah, now this is dangerous. Very dangerous, but see how they've all stacked up. So what I need to do now is I need to make a big decision. I need to decide where the Panzers need to roll out to. Because, frankly, there's a lot of areas that really do need it. Right. Let's see, let's take a look at the actual situation. Okay, notice the severe lack of depth. The greatest concentration is down here and down here. But all it needs is one Panzer group, one Panzer army, rolling up over to here, and then they're buggered. Or even here, take this, move on. Take this, move on. Right. Let's see. These forces may be able to break through. I hope they can. Yep, there we go. Well, not those guys. Yep, they were gonna hold, but it has weakened them. So, possibly soon we'll be able to break through. But now, they're separated, so that's good. Now if I move in here. I mean, we can still see that there's significant numbers in this area. It's been a massive pocket. I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if there was maybe 1 million men in the Leningrad area. Not Ladingrad. Fucking Ladingrad. Right, here we go. We can have these reserves move over here. Okay. No movement at the moment. Right. I do have that Panzer regiment. We do have these divisions here. This is it. We can sort of check this advance potentially. Well, I say potentially. I bloody well hope so. And that is the most dangerous one there. The Guard Cavalry Corps, 2nd Guard Cavalry Corps, the 15th Rifle and the 5th Cavalry Corps. There we go, 1st Cavalry Corps. There's a lot of danger here. we are going to build some fortified zones. This is the last resort, but I'd like to have it. It's a little bit too little, too late, but if it gives us something to fall back on, then I will do it. Okay. Have some reinforcements. Right then. I mean, this is it. The bloody weather really inhibits us. We can pull back. I need to break through here, ideally. If I break through here, I could break through here. And then I could encircle these forces here. And then that removes a major, major threat. And it's not too much men there. It's a number of AFVs, though, and the Soviets don't really have many AFVs at the moment to begin with. So taking that would be nice. I mean, this is a major threat here. Major threat. I mean, let's take a look. Let's use a nice... use a Soviet red. Is that red? It's not really a red, but well. So, yeah, we have major troop concentration here. And then that would really be the other concentration. There's another concentration here. Go back. So that's a concentration. Obviously here. But you can see... that, of course, the enemy is sort of split up. Gap here. Gap here, as far as I know. Yeah. So what we need to do then is we need to figure a way through. And what I'd like to do is potentially push through here, which is only a small pocket, very, very small compared to 1941, but it's achievable. It should be achievable anyway. It would depend upon these infantry being able to break through here, but it could be done. Could be done. At least in my humble opinion. And then what we need to do then is we need to continue to keep on pressuring them here. Ultimately make this situation available where we can get around them, and then pocket them there. Then what I need to do is try to bring about that. And from there, we eventually link up at Leningrad. Sorry, Stalingrad. God damn it, I keep saying Leningrad. But that's the idea here. We need to turn this from... well, I wouldn't say defeat, but it's not a very good situation. Here is very interesting. It's a very difficult situation. But ultimately one I feel confident about recovering from. That is a lot of fucking power. Okay. I mean, we have a really nice position here. Really nice. Very solid. I mean, they do have a lavish amount of air support, which we completely lack there. Now we do have some air support, not much. Right. Now, this situation. I mean, Soviet strength really here. That area. Oh, so down here. And here. And here. As we can kind of see where the AI is working its logic from. They have strong units every couple hexes, basically to form anchors. But what we need to do then, or what I'd love to do, is frankly, we need to check their advance here. But then again, I need to pull back this way. If I constrict the front to this, then they've got no chance. But then again, I do abandon the chance of getting in behind here. But then again, it's not probably going to happen like that. So I'm not going to put myself out there when I don't need to. Now, this front is rather interesting. The central sector. We do have a lot of strength here. Anything over 1 I do class as like strength. But ultimately no depth. That's the important thing here, no depth. None at all. We do have plenty of infantry forces here to balance this out. These Panzer forces are really in a position to move out, which is superb. But we need to hold the line here. Hold the line. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these Panzers are in good shape. Or at least decent shape. It's over here where things are getting quite dire. Alright. Strength. Oops. Yeah, so you can see here, they are spread out. I think what I should probably do is pull back along this line, perhaps. Basically along the Kalinin Moscow highway and railway. Fall back on that position there. What I'd love to be able to do then is in the spring, push up to here and to Yaroslavl. As well as Ivanovo. And there's also, what, Vladimir down here somewhere? That's what I'd love to do. But we need to contract. We need to just pull back. Because frankly, we've achieved more than we could ever hope for in 1941 and early 1942. The fact that Leningrad is just... It's not going to last forever. They will eventually be starved into submission. Right, the blizzard. The blizzard's crescendo is not far away. Capture that rail line. What I mean by that is the fact that it can't last much longer. But you can see here the weaknesses in the Red Army is already apparent. Let's see their numbers. 3.9 million. 3,100 AFVs. We have almost 2,000. Well, technically, yeah, almost 2,000 more AFVs than they do at this present moment in time, which is a huge, colossal advantage. And one that will be felt as the time goes on. And technically we do have more men than them once we do combine our allies. So, I'm happy for them to keep on pushing on me. I will find the ability to exploit it soon enough. They are suffering. They are suffering very heavily. I mean, look, there's some reserves here. Some reserves there. I mean, this is what the German situation was like in real life. I mean, it still kind of is. I mean, we don't really have much in reserve. But the fact is we have these Panzer armies in reserve. I mean, that's 3 Panzer fucking armies. That's a huge amount. And you can see how critical they can be when committed at the right time to the right place. Like over here. Extremely impressive how well they've done there. This situation is becoming very, very difficult. I can hold it. I can hold it. Ultimately, this doesn't matter. None of this matters bar NV port. That's the only thing that matters. What we need to do really is... how good we have support here now. Well, rails here. As we need to fall back. Should it come to the situation where it's just completely unviable, we'll solidify our position here with Finnish infantry divisions, solidify our position here with German infantry divisions, and then, yeah, we let them push on. I mean, they're only been supported by one rail line. If I was able to get through there and cut that rail line, then yeah, that's not going to look good for them. And there's a gap here. Let's do a little bit more reconnaissance. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, this could go poorly, or it could go very, very well. A little bit of A, a little bit of B. I meant to go to reconnaissance in all honesty. Not worth bombing these ones, apparently. Right, well, there we go. How much damage did we do there? Ah, well. 48. Not really worthwhile, but oh well. At least some damage was dealt there. I mean, ultimately, in 1942, the plan... well, my grand plan here, which is... looking likely, really. What I want to do, what I feel is going to be the ultimate objective for 1942, really. Rather than the South and Kuban. I mean, I'd love to take Kuban, but I don't know. I don't know how that situation is going to go. But in the north, I know my objective. My objective is going to be to punch towards Yaroslavl. From Yaroslavl, we are going to punch over to Volgogoldo. From Volgogoldo, we're going to basically anchor ourselves along these lakes. I need to form a gigantic pocket, and it is very doable. It's ambitious. It's ambitious as fuck, but it can be done. And now you might be thinking, you're a madman. You're a madman there, Mr. HTRG. You're a madman. But the reason here is we do have this railroad. I can follow that over like that. And importantly, let's see, I need a green. This is not... there we go. Notice the fact of the swampland here. Notice the lakes. These are natural barriers. If I can get behind here, take this city, then ultimately try to cut them off, I could cut off an entire front of the Soviet Union. Those losses would be beyond critical. They would not recover from that. There's simply no recovery from something of that amplitude, that magnitude. And, yeah, I think I have the power to do that. I need to chip away at these front lines. I need to find holes. But these units I do destroy, they're going to find it extremely hard to replace. Just like I am. If I lose men, I find it difficult to replace. But this is another order of magnitude now for the Soviets. And let's take a look here. You can see here... it's been rough for the Soviets. I mean, we've lost a few units. Mostly allies. Cavalry, armor, artillery brigades. Well, sorry, artillery battalions and machine gun battalions. So that's the most we've lost. Basically brigades and battalions. They've lost 3 cavalry corps, 48 armor divisions, 20 motorized divisions, 245 infantry divisions, 49 cavalry, 8 mountain, 20 armor brigades, 23 infantry brigades, 10 airborne brigades. Yeah, it goes on. Those are huge losses. I mean, let's take a look at what we captured. Now I want to take a look at manpower. So at the moment we have 1,274 manpower. Obviously that's decreased somewhat by the liberation of those cities by the Soviets of Tyrol, Orel, Kursk. So that's reduced the amount there. But still, each point of manpower is equivalent to about 50,000 people. And I do believe that the Soviets do gain about 6,000 soldiers from each point of manpower eventually throughout the entire game. So you can imagine how many men that's denied to the Soviet Union. So if we to say about 6,000 throughout the entirety of the game, then 1,274 times 6,000. That's over 7.5 million. I mean, that's 7,000. Sorry, 7,644,000 men potentially denied to them in terms of manpower. That is an incredibly large amount. And that's not counting resource production, rails, and port. It's a lot. And let's take a look at our captured topic, actually. See if we've got anything cool. Turn production filter off. Right. Not much. BT7s. I'd like to use the rest, to be honest. If I could use everything, that'd be great. Okay. I mean, I have a lot of these 45mm. I want them rolled out. I ultimately want all this artillery rolled out. But we'll see. I mean, we do have the volunteers here. Now, I'm not entirely sure what it is. I couldn't really find it. But basically, it's a percentage number of troops captured. Or maybe from the manpower, I'm not entirely sure. But basically, from captured manpower, there's a certain percentage that becomes the actual Hueys. And they become integrated into our units as support units, which is quite nice. Really quite nice. Let's take a look here. So we will gain Tigers in 1942, so August 1942. So this year we will start to see Tigers rolling out, eventually. What I want most is the Panthers. Sorry, Panther. I clicked on the wrong one. Panther. Yeah, I do love the Panzer 4H though. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely a gorgeous tank. I love it. But yeah, I love that tank. So cool. But this is what we need. We need Panthers. It's going to be slow rolling them out, but eventually we will gain them in decent numbers. We'll see them in September 1943. But they are amazing tanks. Absolutely incredible. But yes, guys, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, do stay tuned for more, and let me know what you think down in the comments. And of course, if you feel I've deserved it, then do consider backing me on Patreon or a small donation on PayPal. It makes a huge difference. And if you're of course new to the channel, do subscribe for more. And if you are not, then please do share this content. It helps me out immensely. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.